All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 Sig test, and probably one of the most requested rounds I've had in a long time. That one is the 124 grain Underwood loaded XTP. So there's what that thing looks like. It does have your nickel plated brass and is rated at 1,475 feet per second. So we'll be going out of our old school Sig P229. That one does have that 3.9 inch barrel. We'll be going through our gel. Those are 10% calibrated blocks. Do over a catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front. And like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how this round does. All right, we're setting back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity was 1397, so definitely quite a bit less than rated. We were using a little bit shorter barrel, but still not too bad. All right, so there's that entry. Looks like I got a perfect hit, and just like all the rest, you can see right down that cavity. It looks like a really good star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. There's definitely quite a bit of damage. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in, it started opening up. You can see a really nice distinct star pattern going all the way through that first block. Looks like it did settle down just a little bit and then did flatline, and we did make it into that second block, so that's always good to see. So definitely quite a bit of penetration there. So let's see at our widest spot here, what kind of measurement we have. Like always, we'll get our cross sections and everything here at the end. But we are right at 2 3/4, so definitely not too bad from the top. Pretty average for a 357 Sig. We're normally getting probably in the 3-inch area, but still not too bad. Let's check it out here from the side. So hopefully you guys can see that. Came in, opened up. Looks like we are definitely dropping some fragments, some little pieces of lead in there. But a really nice stretch cavity, and then you can see it there in that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. Looks a little bit wider here from the side. We're right at 3 inches, so a little bit more from the side than the top, which is usually pretty typical, but definitely quite a big stretch cavity. And like I said, pretty much fragmentation all the way through that track. And then you can see that round resting in that second block. It is facing upward. So at our leading edge there, we are right at 4 inches. So that made it a total of 15 inches of penetration. So definitely not too bad. So we're actually going to set it for a second shot and see how that one does. All right, we're setting back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so impact velocity on that one was 1433, so it's definitely more like it. I will be testing out the super short barrel Glock 33 and full size Glock 31, so we'll see what kind of numbers we get there, but not too bad. Still did pretty good. All right, so there is that entry. Looks like I got another perfect hit, and once again you can see right down in that cavity and another huge star pattern. So let's check it out from the top. So definitely not too bad. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, once again started opening up. Huge star pattern going through. Looks like it's carrying pretty much the whole way through that first one, and it is settling down just a little bit, maybe that last inch, and we did make it into that second block. Not as much, not as much penetration, but it's expected. We did get that higher velocity, so I'm sure it opened up a little bit wider, but pretty identical tracks. So what I actually did was I flipped the block over just so we can get that second shot, the same camera angle, but not too bad at all. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the top. So they almost collided. And let's see. So at our widest spot here, we are 3 1/8 inches. So definitely a little bit more in that second shot than that first shot, but kind of expected, of course, because that velocity was a little bit higher. So here it is from the side. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. Pretty much as soon as that thing came in, we got immediate expansion, opened up awesomely. There's a little bit of fragmentation. It doesn't look like as much from this shot than the first shot, but there is actually a pedal in between the blocks. And then we did flatline a little towards the end, and we did make it into that second one. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here. This one looks like it hit the very bottom of our table. At our widest spot, we are about 3 3/4 inches. So, definitely quite a bit more from the side than the top, but it's definitely a pretty nasty round, even though, it is the XTP. They got rid of our nozzler and our gold dot, so I guess we are stuck with this one. So here it is in our second block at our leading edge. It is facing forward. We are 2 1/2 inches. So that one made a total of 13 1/2 inches, and that first shot was 15 inches. So a little bit less. Like I said, it is usually expected with that higher velocity. It's usually opening up a little bit more. So we'll check these tracks out one more time from the top. So the one on the right is that first shot. One on the left is that second shot. So here is that first shot. Came in, immediate expansion. You can see it. Definitely quite a bit of disruption in that gel. Tearing it up pretty good. It did flatline just a little bit, and it did make it into that second block, and it is that one on top, with a little bit more penetration. And here is that second shot. Same thing. Came in, opened up really nicely. Huge star pattern going all the way through. Did settle down maybe that last inch or so, and then once again made it into that second shot, and is that one here on this top. So definitely not too bad. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some pretty awesome expansion. So the one on the right is that first shot, one on the left is that second shot. So here is that first shot. If we can focus, there we go. And looks like definitely opened up really nicely. Of course, it did make it to its breaking point, but it did mushroom out pretty darn good. You can see those petals peeled over the base, and quite a bit of gel still left in there, but definitely one nasty round for sure, especially 1400 feet per second. Definitely like to see a little bit more, but that's kind of how it is these days. And there is that second shot, same thing. You could tell this one was moving out a little bit quicker. Definitely a little bit more damage to that bullet. Once again, you can see those petals just peeled right over that base. And same thing with this, ton of gel still left in there, but I will rinse all that stuff out here at the end. But definitely not too bad, guys. So of course that is what we're stuck with from now on until they decide to bring back our gold dot or our nozzler. So it was good to see that it did pretty good. Definitely not as good as those rounds, but still pretty good. So let's check them out one time from the bottom. So the one on the right was that first shot, one left was that second shot, and last time from the top. So like I said, guys, we'll do our still shot, slow-mo, all that good stuff here at the end. But there we go. That one was our 124 grain XTP loaded by Underwood. First shot and second shot. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so here's that cross section for that first shot. You can see some nice big splits going down in there. Same here on this side. So I did remeasure both of these. They're peaking right at 3 1/8 inches and averaging right at about the 3-inch mark. So definitely pretty impressive there. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in, right at that 1/4 inch mark, started to open up. You can see that huge path going all the way through and some massive, massive splitting down in there. You can see it did drag in just a little bit of that cotton t-shirt, but man, those splits are definitely pretty impressive. Really, really deep. And same here on this top side. Came in, opened up, and this one you can really tell that path all the way through. A ton of damage. And then there's a ton more of that fabric right there also. But man, that is definitely pretty impressive. I guess, if this is what we're stuck with, we're going to have to deal with it. So hopefully, like I said, one day they'll bring back those nozzler and those gold dots. But definitely some pretty nasty stuff. All right, and here's that cross section for that second shot. So this one Definitely had a little bit bigger splitting going on. You can see a little bit of that fragmentation down in there. Same here on this side. Really, really deep, wide cut. So I did remeasure this, and we are right at 3 3/4 inches. So that's a little bit more on par than what we're getting, you know, with that 357 Sig. So definitely pretty impressive. So let's cut this one open. All right, and here's after meeting cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see pretty much same thing on this one. It came in right at that 1/4 inch mark, started to open up, and there is a huge, huge channel going all the way through. So, you know, pretty massive damage. And same thing, you can see those nice deep splits. This one actually carried in quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt as well, which is pretty surprising. Those hollow point cavities are definitely pretty small, but man, some really, really nice deep cuts for sure. So same here on this top, came in, opened up, once again, nice wide path. And same thing, there's a little bit of fragmentation on this side, but just some pretty deep cuts, man. Stuff was really jumbling this stuff up. And it was going over 1,400 feet per second, so that's always nice to see, especially out of that short barrel. Let's do one more quick angle. But you can see there just those really, really deep cuts going down in there. Same here on this side. This one's a little bit more distinct, but definitely pretty impressive. So there we go, guys. That one was that 124 grain Underwood loaded XTP. Thanks again for watching, guys.